I was talking to Mr. Wild and Free, and we had a very lengthy conversation about looking at your talents like seasons. And there's 4 quarters in the year, and each quarter can be a different season of artistic expression.
Even with, like, so for instance, like, even as a jack of all trades, right? Like, because I've been doing the same thing, right? Like, I've been a multidisciplinary artist for as long as I can recall, and I've talked about it, you know what I'm saying? But, okay, like, you have to be able to tend to your garden, you know what I'm saying? Like, the same way a gardener can cultivate many plants and yield the fruits of many plants consistently in every season, right? You have to be able to show that with all of your multidisciplinary arts, right? So that's also about finding some sense of like creating your own rubric or your own semester, so to speak, right? Like governing your time in that way to say, okay, no. From, first quarter of the year, that's dedicated to poetry and the book and whatever, right? Yeah. And I'm going to focus purely on those things. Yeah. And then in the summer, I'm going to focus on the movie or this or whatever, right? And like,
so it's like there's seasons.
Exactly. That's how you can successfully divide your time, but still cultivate and nurture all of those.
Yeah. And it keeps it interesting because it's like, okay, this is the season that we're in.
Exactly. And now you get the satisfaction of not really feeling bored or confined to one particular thing indefinitely.
Yeah, I like that. I like that concept. Like, you have to embrace who you're meant to be.
Yes. Harder than it, and I know it's harder than it sounds, right? Because like it takes a whole lot of hard work. Trust me. And it's like. Thank you for at least acknowledging me for being where I'm at and getting to the space where I do have my own space and all of that. Like I'm telling you, last year I literally slept on the floor for an entire year at my mom's house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I had to weather that storm and be honest with myself and where I was in life and all of the challenges that I was facing, the shortcomings that I had that was not allowing me to be the best version of myself, right? Yeah. And recognizing that, no, I have to stop coddling myself, right? And assume the role that I'm meant to play, right? And to allow myself to be the fullest version of myself, which is not who I think I currently am. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is, like, we often, like, who we feel we are today is just an amalgamation, a compilation of who we've been in the past. Right? And it's so easy for us to consistently look at ourselves that way because that's what we constantly have to reflect on. But we have to identify and assume the role of who we want to be, our future selves. And then we have to live within that. And we have to guide our lives towards that, right? Which is why it requires the discipline, the consistency, right? The commitment.
Management skills.
The time management. Real talk. And the iterations are just representations of growth over time, and allowing that, but that's another big part of it, right? Is like allowing others to participate in that growth over time, right? And like putting it out there to the world, you know what I'm saying? Right? So for sure. But it's easy to let the speed of the world around you and tech and all of that stuff to make you feel like you gotta rush, right? But honestly, move at your own pace. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the things that you have to do that are necessary for you. Get the rest that you need. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm just like, I gotta decide what season this is gonna be, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, because it's like, I need to make money too. Like, I gotta get out of my mother's house. I gotta have my own car. So it's like this, whatever season of artistic expression I choose has to like yield income.
It has to be lucrative. So you have to look at all of your skill sets and then look at what is the lowest hanging fruit, right? Yeah. And what is a service that you can provide with that lowest hanging fruit.
So when you say lowest hanging fruit, as in like
the lowest hanging fruit would be something, I imagine, right? That is something that comes easy to you, right?
Yeah.
You don't have an extremely high overhead in order to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you basically have everything that you need to accomplish the thing, right?
Yeah.
And the people are in demand of it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? Like, you hear it or you see it from people time and time. You're like, wait a minute, hold on, they're asking for something that I technically know I can provide, right?
Yeah.
So those are like low-hanging fruit, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like the opportunity is right. It's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
You just have to seize it. But like also if you find the niche within that, right? Because, you know, look at doctors, right? General doctors, they get paid pretty decently, right?
Yeah.
And anesthesia, like the doctors that do the anesthesia treatment, bank. And they do one thing.
Yeah.
They walk into the office and provide anesthesia and they be out. But they make bank.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because they're a specialist.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that know how to do that particular thing in a very specific way.
You gotta be a specialist.
Right. So you would be surprised that, like, as you start to specialize, as you say, no, I write about these particular things. No, I write poetic things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I write for this type of stuff.
Yeah.
If you say this is what I do, then people know what to come to you for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like, to make something lucrative, you gotta be an expert.
Exactly.
And it's like, so you just like, you're saying, like, what is the lowest hanging fruit that you could be an expert in? Like, what's the easiest shit? I mean, what would be yours? I guess graphic design.
Yeah, that's like a super low hanging fruit. But like, if I'm thinking about the trajectory of my future, right? Like, I know for sure. Like, yeah, I say I do music. Can I make beats? Yeah. Can I audio engineer? Yeah. Can I do all that stuff? But that's not my low hanging fruit. If I'm thinking about music, my low hanging fruit is the lyricism, right?
Yeah.
I can write. You know what I'm saying? I can come up with meaningful lyricism, right? So that's something that's a low-hanging fruit for me, like, in the realm of music.
I know, like, I'm a poet that can perform.
You see what I'm saying? I can perform. I have stage presence, right?
Yeah.
That's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You know, technically. Now you just have to look for the opportunities, right? You have to start connecting with people who are like, event planners. You know what I'm saying? Like, that are throwing festivals and doing all of these things. Talent scouts, like.
You can't start things and just leave it in the middle. No. That is your dream. That is your passion. It's supposed to be your focus. You're supposed to take it up and say, well, if it's going to take me X, Y, Z to make and finish this, so get the right kind of paper that I want. I know you're probably searching for the paper, and I know all of that, all you wanted to do. I even asked the gentleman at the market. I went to the Alfred market Saturday. So let me see, I haven't been for a long time. And more vendors out there, and I asked the guy. He said, well, all vendors close off for the season that you'd have to apply for January coming up. And you go to these places, I'm not saying you're upstairs not doing anything. Don't get me wrong, because you're always on the computer. I don't know what you're doing. If it's making money while being on there. But I'm only saying it's going to come a time where you have to go out in your field, because it's not going to come upstairs and find you. You have to go out there and find it. You have to come out of that, Omar.
Come out of what exactly?
The way you think. I'm not saying all of it, but some of it.
So what's the overall point that you're trying to convey to me?
You need to stop being so reluctant to do things for people, period. Because if you're reluctant to do it for me, that means you're reluctant to do it for others too at the same time. And that blocks your blessing. That's what I mean. Come on, Omar. Just stop that way, man. To be honest with you, it's not good.
So you're asking me to be more helpful, and when I don't want to do it, just do it with a smile, and nobody needs to know how much I don't want to do it.
Yeah, because you're voicing it. You're voicing it because you voiced it to me, you know.
You don't think it's important that I voice how I feel?
Well, Omar, suppose you want to do it and be and insult me.
Well, it's not about insulting it. Like, if I'm doing the thing that you asked me to do, but I say that I don't feel like doing it, that's like I'm doing it, even though I'm not doing it with a smile.
Yeah, but I don't have to know, Omar. It's not important for me to know.
So it's not important to be honest at all times.
Omar, suppose you won't continue to tell me what you don't feel like doing. Then go ahead. Because this is going to be coming a back and forth, and I don't want it to be a back and forth. I'm just was taken back by you saying this morning
But I'm
to
here.
me, yeah, you're here, but you didn't have the voice to tell me how you feel about taking me. You don't have to do that, Omar. Because let me tell you what, when you do that, it'll make me don't even want to do nothing for you. Simple. I'm trying to convey to you.
I guess if I'm doing the thing that I'm being asked to do, it's really pointless to say how I feel towards it if I'm doing it anyway. I'm documenting my life, and you're in it, and you're speaking to me about things that matter. So if I want to document it, I should be able to do that. Because years later, when I arrive at the place that I'm meant to be, people are going to ask, how did I get to that point? What are the things that I had to deal with along the way? What was my mental state? Well, here it is. And it's called self-development, self-discovery. Experience is the best teacher. And I'm sharing my life experience with people so they can take from it and learn from it. So as I'm growing as a person, other people are too.
Well, I can't tell you not to do it because that's your thing. That's what you do.
And that is what it's about. Is leading by example and showing people like it's okay to embrace all of the sides of you, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, the ups and the downs, because we're all humans and we all go through things. I have to be fearless so other people can be fearless. Like, I know I have a responsibility. I have to continue to be authentic because my authenticity is disrupting what is normal. I know my mission, and me documenting my life is a part of it. And it won't make sense to a lot of people until I arrive at the place that I'm meant to be. And then that's what they're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I get it. So like what I'm doing right now is probably ahead of its time.
I'm telling you not to record you, or what you have to do outside. It's just that you and I are just here talking about something simple, and you're recording me. I can say anything except for cursing. You never tell me that you're recording it, and you can't be sneaking and doing things like that because it is illegal. I may not be the person that take it legally, but it could be somebody else. So you cannot be recording things with somebody else involved and don't tell them.
Greetings. How are you? It's a blessing to be alive. But like I was saying, right now I'm on my way to Sweetwater Creek in Lithia Springs, Georgia. Yeah, I've been wanting to get to the water for a long time. That's part of the reason why I wanted to go to Miami was to go to the beach. And Atlanta is landlocked, so there are no beaches, but there are rivers and creeks. So instead of waiting to touch the waters to get my replenishment, I'm going to go find a creek. Well, I found the creek and I'm going to go to it. So yeah, I need to refresh my spirit and wash myself of bad habits and just let it go in the water. Just let it go. So yeah, I'm on my way to Sweetwater Creek, and I plan on getting in. Ah, damn, I forgot a towel. That's cool. You know, I'll air dry. But you know, like I was saying, I wanted to go to Miami originally to just, you know, allow the natural, you know, minerals of God's green earth to replenish and refresh me. And even though I'm a Leo, and I think Leos are supposed to be fire signs, I personally feel like water is my element. Water is my self-proclaimed element. That's where I feel at home. I feel balanced, and like me and water got a special connection, you know. I stay with it. So yeah, I'm on my way to the creek, and I'm gonna have a nice little, you know, spiritual time. And I'm gonna talk to God while I'm out there. I'm gonna meditate while I'm out there, and I'm gonna take some photos while I'm out there.